Now today, just to let you know, there's a format which we don't want to explain when they're here, but there is a question that each group will get, and we will be first looking at the continent of Americas and Caribbean. They will be the first group in, and they will be given the same question. Now, because they're getting the same question, the rest of the group remains outside, so they don't hear the answer. Once they've finished answering their question, they're allowed to sit at that lovely table there with all the nice flowers, and then watch the rest of the group. Once we have heard from all 5 candidates, the judging panel will select 2. Those 2 qualify for the final event, and they will take their seats on the chairs on the opposite side, the 2 from that continent. The ones that have not gone through will now come down and join you in the audience, and that will be repeated for each continent until in the end we should have 2 from each continent, being the 8 chairs across there. We then do, and it's called head-to-head for this reason, they then go head-to-head, because the 2 from Africa or Americas or Europe or Asia, only one will get the title. They'll move forward in their continent. So what will happen is we'll bring through the Americas and Caribbean first. They will stay here. They'll be next to each other. First one will answer the question. Second one will then answer the question, and judges immediately decide who gets that title. Okay, and that will be repeated for all 4 continents. And then the 4 of those in each continent moves forward to the next round. Okay, so that's the difference this year. And so there'll be 4 people moving forward. All right. You're happy you're not participating. Well, that's good. That's good. It's a lot of talking, isn't it? Where's our talent winner from last night? Yeah. Yes. You may be talented, but you're not so good without a piano, are you? You see, not the same, is it? You should carry one with you. You've got it outside. I thought you might. Keeps it on wheels. That's just hand luggage. No, that's great. So congratulations, Indonesia. Yeah, we also, in fact, it was a really great show. I think everyone was very entertained by all the performances, and that's it was a really high standard, and it was fun. It was great. I think the people who put the show on for you yesterday did a great job, and that's all the people from Hubble here. Okay, we got Hubble actually rhymes with trouble, so we call them Trouble. But with the leader of Trouble is here, so stand up. This is Hafiz. You probably see him around. There he is. Yes. So if everything goes well with the production, then you could come to Miss World and tell us how wonderful we are. And if it goes wrong, go and tell Hubble how terrible it was. But we have Dave here. Dave is our head of production. He's always there. And yeah, there he is, Dave. and I actually, Dave, we actually use Dave for a number of things. If we're having trouble with walking, now, Dave, you see, you've got your camera there. Can you just do a little walk for there, show the ladies? Because you're soon going to be like, here we go. There we are. This is how you walk. And then you stop for the camera. There we are, little turn, little pirouette. There we are, and back he comes. So that's Dave. He's great. And who said he's late? No, great, I said. Jamaica, there we're going with that. And so Dave also is very important, because when you come out on stage, sometimes the audience can be a bit flat. And Dave has this really incredible knack of being able to make everyone clap. Can you show them what you do to make them clap? And if he wants you to clap louder, he does this. Wow. You see, we have a multi-talented team, I tell you. Yes. We found him in the Arctic, we did. He was from a family of sea lions, we got him. So anyway, you're going to meet, most of our team, and everyone here wants to make you have the best performances of your life. But I got some terrible news for you, which I don't know how to break this to you, but I'm very, very sorry to have to announce that the lovely Donna is back tomorrow. And tomorrow you're preparing for top model, yes? Wow, this is good. You can do the script. Doing well. So top model tomorrow. So later on this afternoon, there'll be some rehearsals where just do some simple walks. And I've just been told we're going live on YouTube. Oh dear. There we are. I better say no more and wish you all well. And we will be back with you just as soon as it's time to call our first contestant. So thank you. Kerry, Kerry. Enrique. For those of you watching on YouTube, we will soon be beginning. We've been waiting for the arrival of some of our judges. Very difficult traffic conditions here in Telangana today, but they will be with us shortly. They actually have arrived in the building, so we will begin very shortly. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and a very warm welcome to the Trident Hotel here in Hyderabad, Telangana, which is our home for the 72nd Miss World. Today we have a very special presentation because we will be finding out our head-to-head challenge winners. Now, earlier we've seen all the ladies make presentations, and the fantastic presentations they were, but the judges have selected 5 to come forward from each continent, and we will now hear from each of the continents and each of the contestants that have qualified. In turn, the continent will come forward and answer the same question, and the judges will be listening to their answers and choosing the top 2 for that continent. Those top 2 will then go head to head in the final round. Our first group of contestants are from the Americas and Caribbean, and we will call forward the first of those, that is Brazil. So I think Brazil is a little shy, requires a bit of motivation. Come on, ladies, here we go. Please welcome Brazil. This is Jessica Pedroso, who's currently studying languages, and she says her proudest moment was when she published a book titled The Beauty of Being Imperfect. Well, let's see how she gets along with the judges as we give her the first question, which will be posed to all of her group. Please, Brazil, you have 2 minutes to answer the following. Telangana women can travel freely and safely at any time of day or night. What message does this send to the world about women's empowerment and safety?
Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Such a pleasure to be here. And I want to start this answer saying that I'm a teacher, and I see in classrooms all the girls that are facing vulnerability and how hard it is when you are facing vulnerability to feel safe, to feel secure, and to feel free to just be yourself. So that's why I promote awareness. I promote ways to try to them feel safe, but not only that, but to truly use all the resources I have to build a huge connection to have this result. Here in Telangana, I got so amused when we were at the security and we saw all these amazing opportunities that they provide for women to be safe and free. Here, I feel that doesn't matter nationality. What matters is humanity, and that's such amazing because we are here feeling safe, feeling that we can be ourselves. And as a teacher, I promote this in schools. I promote this in my social project, Pescar, to let them be strong and safe and to truly understand that you are capable to be who you are despite challenges, despite nationality, despite vulnerability. You can be who you are and you can be safe and you can follow your dreams, your passion, your purpose. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Thank you very much, Brazil, our first contestant. And Brazil, if you want to take your seat at the table here, that's great. And we will now introduce the next contestant from this group, Jada Ramoon, representing Cayman Islands. Now, Jada says, the future belongs to those that believe in the beauty of their dreams. Well, will this be your dream come true today? If you can answer this question, If you just want to pull the microphones down so that that's it.
Thank
That's
you.
better. There
Can
we
everyone
go.
hear me? Oh, perfect.
Perfectly. There we go. Telangana women can travel freely and safely at any time of day or night. What message does this send to the world about women's empowerment and safety?
Thank you. To me, the clear message is when women are empowered, societies thrive. My freedom to travel shows that progress is possible, that safety, education, and opportunity for women should not be the exception, but the norm. It proves when we invest in women, we unlock potential that can change the world. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Cayman Islands. And we will move to our next contestant, who is Guyana. Yeah, this is Zalika Samuels. Having trained as a dental assistant, Zalika is now studying to become a nurse and has ambitions to become a pediatric doctor. Well, here is your question. Telangana women can travel freely and safely at any time of day or night. What message does this send to the world about women's empowerment and safety?
Thank you for the question and good afternoon, all. It says that women belong everywhere. Safety should be a given and not a privilege. When a place prioritizes our freedom to move, it tells that the world that women deserve to live, explore, and lead without fear. That message is a powerful, especially for girls who have been told to shrink themselves. In Telangana, I have felt even saved and seen, and that is how something every woman deserves. Thank you.
Thank you, Guyana. Well, next we're going to call upon Suriname. Chanella Rosendahl. After completing her degree in public administration, Chanella has worked as a news editor for her local TV and radio station, and she's also an IT teacher. Now, Chanella, please tell us, Telangana women can travel freely and safely at any time of day or night. What message does this send to the world about women's empowerment and safety?
I want to start by saying good morning, everybody. How are you all? My name is Shanella Rosendahl, and I am Miss World Suriname 2025. When women can travel freely, community and our land, it flourishes. And Telangana's commitment to women who can travel safely, it sends a powerful message to the world. Gender equality begins when you have a fundamental right to exist without fear. And I think that everybody in this room and everyone watching back home can implement this message in their country too. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, thank you. And finally, from this group, we call upon Trinidad and Tobago. And this is Annalise Nanton. After completing her degree, she wants to work as a civil engineer and would like to pursue a master's in building sustainability. And to you, Annalise, we give this question. Telangana women can travel freely and safely at any time of day or night. What message does this send to the world about women's empowerment and safety?
Good morning, everyone. My name is Annalise Nanton, and I proudly represent my beautiful island nation of Trinidad and Tobago. I have seen many things since coming to Telangana, but the one thing that has impressed me the most is your commitment to putting progress and the empowerment of women hand in hand. I'm a woman who comes from a background in STEM, so I love statistics and I love correlations. So it is no surprise to me that Telangana is also one of the fastest growing economies in India that also puts women hand in hand. I'm very thankful to live in a world where women are allowed to pursue degrees, women are allowed to be engineers, women are allowed to dress the way that they want to drive cars, and to come from a country where all of that is possible for me. But there are many women around the world who are not afforded the same luxuries and the same opportunities. And I am very thankful to be a part of Miss World in a country and in a state like Telangana that really empowers and uplifts women and ensures that they are able to make the decisions to live the lives that they want to. And I would just like to close by saying we cannot all succeed when half of us are left behind. And Telangana, thank you for not leaving women behind.
Thank you very much. Our final contestant from that group was Trinidad and Tobago. Now we've heard from all five, and now what we'll do is very quick this. We will now collect the judges' decision on who they wish to go forward from this group, and there's just be a short pause while that happens. And we're going to ask in just a few minutes' time, we're going to ask the contestants to step forward to the front of the stage for the announcement. All right, if they come to the front. Sorry. Okay, here we go. Come forward if you'd like to stand in a line. So there we have, wave so that they can give you a round of applause. Wave, Brazil. Where's Brazil? There we are, Brazil. That's it. Cayman Islands. There we are. Guyana, Suriname, and Trinidad and Tobago. There they are. Congratulations. You've represented Americas and Caribbean very well. But two of you will now move forward. And those two judges have voted, and they are, in no particular order, Trinidad and Tobago and Brazil. So congratulations, Trinidad, Tobago and Brazil. If you'd now like to take your seats in our champions' chairs, and the other three, if you'd like to join the audience and become a member of the cheering team. And congratulations. If the other two, you sit in the first two seats there. We have our first two. You're going to go head to head in a few moments' time after we've heard from the remaining three groups. Our next grouping is Africa. And we begin with Namibia. Now, Namibia, Selma Kamanya, she works as an executive assistant at a financial services firm and is completing her degree in economics. Now, your question is, tell us about a moment in your life when you faced a challenge and turned it into an opportunity for growth.
Namaste, Telangana. Thank you all for according me this opportunity to stand here on this stage and speak about something that is so close to my heart. As someone that has struggled with anxiety and depression, I believe that the toughest moment of my life is when I was faced with a challenge and I almost gave up on myself. And what that simply means is not believing that you're worth aspiring to achieve anything meaningful in life. And I know that this is not only my reality. I know that so many other young women and young girls experience the exact same thing. But I want to say What has lifted me up out of that is me standing strong and solidifying myself in my faith in God, and subsequently going on a journey of self discovery to discover what it is that is on the inside of me that I can share to the world that is of value. I want to implore every young woman to discover who you are, what that spark is that our Creator has given you, and exponentially work every single day to better yourself at it. We all have something meaningful to contribute to this planet, but we must believe it. I'll end off my answer by one of my favorite quotes. The meaning of life is to discover your purpose, and the purpose of life is to give it away. I wish every young woman well wishes on their journey of discovering their purpose. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you very much, Namibia. Well done. Our next finalist. This is Zainab Jama from Somalia. Now, her personal motto is to rise above challenges, stay true to yourself, and always inspire others along the way. And I know she's been doing that while she's been with us. The only problem is her favorite film is Titanic. And I don't think you're going to find Leonardo DiCaprio among our crew. Let's be fair, but let's wish you well as you answer the following question. Tell us about a moment in your life when you faced a challenge and turned it into an opportunity for growth.
Hello, everybody. My name is Zainab Jama, and I am proudly representing Somalia. A moment that has damaged me with so many scars and so many emotional, physical scars was when I went through female genital mutilation, an evil, cruel practice that stole my childhood and womanly essence. I know what it feels like to have your rights taken away as a child. I know what it feels like to feel powerless and to be told that your voice doesn't matter. But I also know the strength that it takes to rise above those circumstances and fight for change. I've stayed silent for so long, but I knew that I couldn't stay silent anymore because I have so many young girls' childhood in my hands. Today, this week, I was able to say one. I turned my pain into power. I started my foundation from scratch, and now I'm writing my own book. And it includes all the girls that have died from female genital mutilation, alongside with my own story. And today, what I'm wearing, it's for Fortuna and Dero, who passed away. This is both of them with me today. Thank you.
Thank you, Somalia. And I got to say, they look like the wings of an angel, so very fitting. Our next contestant is from South Africa. Please welcome her. This is Zoelise Jansen van Rensburg, and Zoelise is studying law with a view to working in international and children's law, especially supporting those in foster care. Now, Zoelise, please can you answer? Tell us about a moment in your life when you faced a challenge and turned it into an opportunity for growth.
Thank you, Steve. Namaste, world. Hello, everyone. I want to take you back to a time when I was 14 years old. Imagine a young version of who I am, Zwalis. I was an ambitious girl. My mom always taught me that. And I had various dreams. And a lot of the time, people thought that was a lot to handle. They couldn't think about a young girl who was that ambitious. And one day, I never allowed that to stop me. I continued dreaming. But there was a day when I was met with an adult, and he told me that my opinion does not matter, just because I was too young. He said, "You're not wise enough to understand. You don't know what you're talking about." And that was a moment that really impacted me detrimentally. I didn't think that those few words would impact my life greatly. It impacted the way I looked at myself, and it impacted the way that I viewed the world. I thought that I wasn't enough, and I didn't know what I would need to do in order to make myself feel worthy again. It took me a very long time to draw strength within myself, to find strength within my purpose, and understand that my voice holds power. That's why I decided to take it upon myself and start a digital empowerment platform called Never Too Young to Advocate, a testament to my youth, but a testament to my strength. I wanted to create this space to teach children that they are heard, seen, and listened to. They hold power and they hold value. And when I took that negative experience and turned it into my strength, I understood the power of my potential. And I understood that when we tap into our inner strength and share that light with the rest of the world, the generations to come can learn from that. Because I form part of the youth, and I always say, we can't only invest in them tomorrow. Yes, they are the future of tomorrow, but we need to invest in them today in order for them to lead with confidence and pride tomorrow. And that's why I'm standing here in confidence still at my young age, because I'm showing you the power of our voices, the power of who we are, but most importantly, the power of our mindset. Thank you.
Thank you, South Africa. Our next finalist in this group is Uganda. This is Natasha Nyonyozi, and her proudest moment was when she graduated with a degree, and she's now working as an accountant, a model, and a social entrepreneur. Let's welcome her with the question: tell us about a moment in your life when you faced a challenge and turned it into an opportunity for growth.
Thank you. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Natasha Nyonyozi, representing the Pearl of Africa, Uganda. I would say the challenge that I faced in my life was definitely something personal that I've shared on this stage before. My little brother's diagnosis, Ethan. Like I said, we were very excited to have him in the family, him being the first boy. But the minute that we found out that he was autistic, it felt like the world maybe was about to end for us. The challenges that we faced, especially coming from Uganda, where there's not enough education systems and healthcare systems that can support a special needs child. But I chose to turn that pain into purpose because it wasn't just me feeling it or my siblings, it was my family as well. It has affected us in various ways. But standing on this Miss World stage today, being the first Ugandan to advocate for autism, means so much to me. And not just my family, but also every child like him. I stand here speaking for Ethan, but every child like him and every family that has a child like him. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you very much, Uganda. And finally, for this group, please welcome Zambia. This is Faith Walia, and Faith's proudest moment was when she graduated from medical school with a degree in clinical medicine. Your question: tell us about a moment in your life when you faced a challenge and turned it into an opportunity for growth.
Thank you so much for that question. Namaskaram, India. Good morning, world. My name is Faith Walia. And the one thing that I experienced as a challenge was taking myself to university. It took me 5 years to save. I got 3 different jobs: a waitress, a media communication assistant, and a sales representative. I failed 3 times, went to 3 different universities, and on the 4th time, I took myself to university. And in my 2nd year, I was the only student who was awarded a 100% scholarship at my university. That told me one thing: I have the power to do everything, and time will never measure what I can do. I can purchase it, I can do it, and I will achieve it. And that made me grow as a human being, that made me grow as a female. And I believe one day, because of my speech, it will make one little girl believe in her dream to be whoever she wants to be. Thank you.
Wow. There we are. Oh, I saw you looking at the winners seats over there. We have to wait now for the judges. That was a really fantastic group. And what's great is every one of you has a powerful message, and your message is resonating around the world. So what we're going to do whilst you're there, I'm going to ask you to come and stand in front of the lectern, because please, we're going to give you a microphone. Would you like to all come and stand in front of the lectern, please? What we'd like you to do, so if you stand all this side, come towards David. Yes, that's it. There we are. And we're going to just give you the microphone. Okay, you got to fill the couple of minutes. We would like you to tell the people here and share with them what it's been like staying at this fantastic Trident Hotel, our home here in Telangana.
Staying at the Trident Hotel has indeed been home away from home, right from the hospitable stuff. The food is amazing. I've been so excited to try all the different curries, the biryani rice. I was looking forward to that one. And the tea here in India, I'm such a big tea lover, but the tea here has been fantastic. When I tell you that the staff and every person here has been so amazing, they're always ready and quick to help. The service is very quick. This is not a 5-star hotel. This is a 7-star hotel. I'm telling you. So if you're ever in Telangana or Hyderabad to the world, please make sure that this is the hotel that you sleep in and nowhere else. So thank you to Miss World, because you did not make a mistake choosing Trident.
Wow, there we are. Please put your hands together for the new general manager of the Trident Hotel. So I think that's probably completed everything. That was the best advertisement I've ever heard. Thank you, ladies. We're going to give you the results now. Qualifying from Africa. Now, this was very, very close, ladies. This took a little bit longer, but the qualifiers are, in no particular order, Zambia, and Namibia. And it was extremely close. Put your hands together for all of the group. Been sensational for Africa. Yeah. There we go. Yeah, well done. And so 2 of you will go into the hot seats ready for the next round. And the other 3, if you come and join the rest of us in the room to see what's going on. So there they go, the 2. So we have half. There we are. We now move to Europe. Our first finalist from Europe is France. Agatha Kawe. Agatha finished her degree in nursing and is working as a content creator and model. So, your question, if you could implement one change in your country to improve the lives of young girls, what would it be and why?
Hello, everyone. Oh, hello, everyone.
Do you want to lift that?
Yeah,
There we go.
a little bit. I think, as a representative of our country, France, and with our influence, we have to promote in social media the reality, not just beauty and the appearance. We have to promote the authenticity, and I want to to say to other girls, you are enough. You have everything, and you can you can believe in yourself. You are the power, and everything is possible if you believe in. It's my message for other girls, and thank you for listening.
Thank you very much, France. Well done. Thank you, France. So if you take a seat this way at the table. No, that way. No, that was. Our next contestant is Germany, Silvia Dore Sanchez. Now, Sylvia has worked as a DJ, a flight attendant, a model, and in a tech startup, and is now currently working as a teacher with dreams of becoming a UN diplomat or a UNICEF social worker. And on top of that, she speaks German, Spanish, English, French, Italian, and Portuguese. We're just we're just amazed you have time to be with us today. Your question: if you could implement one change in your country to improve the lives of young girls, what would it be and why?
Namaste, Assalamu alaikum. Good morning, everyone. So, I come from Germany, which is a country that is not doing very bad when it comes to equality between men and women. So, women in my country have basic rights. And this is not like this in every country. I've been to many countries and I realized that we're actually very privileged in Germany, that women have the right to go out on the street by their own, to educate themselves by their own. They have access to healthcare, to menstrual hygiene, etc. And that doesn't mean that we have to stop over there. So, of course, we also have challenges and problems. And I think that one of the biggest problems that we have is that we have a lack in leadership, female leadership in Germany. There was a recent study done in 2025 that in the what we call DAX Unternehmen, it's like the 30 biggest companies in Germany, and in the upper, in German we call it Vorstand, I don't know the name in English, but it's like the highest positions in these companies, there were more Christians, which is like a German name, than women. So only one man name has like more people than women in the in the upper level. So this is of course very shocking, especially now that we consider ourselves a very gender equality country, which apparently we are not. And I think that this is exactly what we should teach young girls. We should teach them that they then they don't have only the right to apply for a job, but that they can also get to the highest level, because people always employ people that are similar to them. So when we have men in the highest level, they will employ more men. But when we have women, they will employ more women and they will make space for more women. And this is something that I think we should teach young girls. Um, yeah, this is self-confidence, because it is also shown in studies that many women don't apply for these jobs. They're scared because, okay, maybe one day I want to be a mother, or maybe I'm not good enough. Men, if they already met like 2 of the 3 criteria, they already apply for the job. But women meet all 3 criteria and they're still like doubting themselves and thinking, okay, I should do one more internship, I should learn 5 more languages, etc. So we should teach them, no, you are already enough, and you're worth it. You need to really apply for the upper positions and also make more spaces for other women to sit at the tables. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Germany. The third qualifier from this group, Ireland. This is Jasmine Gerhardt. Jasmine is working as a human rights paralegal and a legal advisor in the Court of Justice. And after completing her degree in European law and human rights, she has aspirations of becoming a diplomat. Ireland, your question. If you could implement one change in your country to improve the lives of young girls, what would it be and why?
Thank you so much for the question. There is a stigma in Ireland that what happens behind closed doors should stay behind closed doors. Domestic violence in Ireland is something that is extremely prominent with all young girls and women in our country. Nearly 50,000 phone calls last year were made to a helpline seeking refuge. I worked with domestic violence most of my life, and last Christmas there was a woman I met who had to flee her home to find safety. A day that's meant to be filled with love and joy turned into terror. It is our job as a society and our role to protect women, to create more legislation, to create awareness campaigns that tells them that they are not alone. You are not alone. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Ireland. So now it gives me great pleasure to introduce Spain. And this is Karina Gonzalez. And Karina is living a dream as a member of cabin crew. And after studying tourism, she's also learning sign language. So today, first of all, in normal language, in your own English, please would you tell us if you could implement one change in your country to improve the lives of young girls, what would it be and why?
Good morning, everyone. Like this. Good morning, everyone. As you said, I'm Corina and I'm representing Spain. I would say, let me talk about my educational system in Spain. We are lucky in Spain because I think we have a really good educational system, but I want to talk about something important. From the beginning, when we started studying, we used to learn English, and then in secondary school, we used to learn as apart from English, or Germany or French. How would it be including also the possibility of learning sign language from the beginning of our studies? How would it be the possibility of teaching the future generations how to be empathetic and not also how to communicate in other language when we travel to other countries, how to communicate with the people in our country that cannot listen, that are the deaf community. How would it be the possibility of make them feel valued, important, and independent, including them in our society? So my my practice for improving the educational system in Spain will be definitely including learning and teaching sign language as the first solution to make them feel the deaf community included not only in Spain but also in all the world. Because have I said some days ago, I believe in you, deaf community. That's what I'm here for you. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you very much, Karina. And now, finally, in this group, it's Wales. And of course, this is Millie May Adams. Her proudest moment was when she got accepted into medical school and studying medicine and surgery. And of course, that performance last night in the talent final. That's quite something. We're very proud of you. Now, Millie May, we have to ask if you could implement one change in your country to improve the lives of young girls, what would it be and why?
Namaste, hello world. It's no secret that I'm passionate about healthcare and education because I believe it truly sets the foundations for a stable community and society. I would implement widening access to medicine, materials, and resources to young girls across Wales because doctors should represent the nation that they're serving. Right now, privately educated doctors are disproportionately represented in medicine, and they can't truly empathize with the struggles that you may have faced in a lower socioeconomic background. I'm already doing this as a mentor for Into Med School, where I mentor a young woman who aspires to be a doctor, but the resources weren't quite there for her. I would like this to go across Wales, and I think that my Medic Millie initiative serves as a beacon of hope for those from less affluent areas of Wales that you can be a doctor and a beauty queen. You can be anything you set your mind to. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Wales. And once again, I'm going to ask maybe if the 5 ladies from Europe could come forward, and Dave's going to give you the microphone, and we're going to give you a little topic to speak about if you'd like to come forward. Okay. So just while we're finding out who's gone through, can you tell us your most memorable moment so far while you've been here in Telangana?
This isn't going to shock you, but visiting the hospitals, I was just in awe. My eyes were wide open, my mouth was open in shock because they are so forward thinking here. And we all know they're the medical hub of the world, but to truly see that in real life with your own eyes, it was mesmerizing. And people are scared of artificial intelligence, but I've seen just how powerful that can be. So thank you so much for sharing your medical innovation with us.
And Ireland, do you want to say anything there?
How are you? I've loved so many things here. It's been an unforgettable experience. I said before I came to Miss World that I think when I come home and if I ever get married, I'm going to have a lot of bridesmaids from all over the world. And I think that is definitely going to be a fact. Meeting every single one of you in this room has been unforgettable. Thank you for your friendship. Thank you for your help. And thank you just for this whole experience, Miss World. I really appreciate it.
Well, for sure, visiting Telangana has been such an amazing experience, and I will keep forever in my heart. But definitely, yesterday trip visiting arts and craft place was something really genuine for me. Having the opportunity to meet all these powerful women, business women, that without having anything, only confident and trust in their possibilities, created self business and business also for all the women to empower women and continue making Telangana feel to continue grow in Telangana and continue inspiring the rest of the society and also the future generations. That was something for me genuine, and so I feel so proud to meet all these amazing women yesterday. Thank you.
And a big congratulations. I know that's Sita and all the people at V Hub. They do an incredible job there.
For me, I loved everything here, and my best memories it was when we went to Heije Hospital as a nurse in France. It's not the same, and I was very impressed about the technology. So thank you for sharing everything with us here, Telangana, and thank you.
Okay. And finally, Germany.
Hello, everyone. And I mean, I can only agree with what all of you have already said. Every memory was very nice. And thank you to the Miss World organization and Telangana Tourism for making this possible. I always say that everything that you organize, it's with so much detail and so much love in every single event that we have. What I have loved most is the interaction with the Indian people. I'm a people's person, so whenever I travel, I've been to many countries, and I always love interacting with the locals. And I think that it's never about the place, but it's always about the people. For example, this is my second time in India. The first time I came, I was with my sister, and we visited the Taj Mahal, which is one of the biggest things in India. But what stayed with us was not this. It was a train ride that we had where we met an Indian family who shared their food with us. And this is the same in Telangana. You know, we've been to beautiful places like Ramappa Temple, but what stayed with me is the small interactions that I have on a daily basis. For example, with the two police officers that are always with us, Lali and Vinny. They're always with us on the bus, and they smile at us and they tell us all the best with a little head shake. And these are the things that are going to stay with us.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
And you'll get a special cheer. I think the whole of the police force who have been taking care of us here. What a fantastic job they've done. Let's put our hands together for all of the police and security teams that have looked after us in our time here. Well, thank you, ladies. It's now time to reveal the results of your group, and qualifying, the first is Ireland. Again, that was very, very close, that group. It really was. So, ladies, commiserations, but thank you very much. And please join the rest of us in the audience as we follow the journey of our qualifiers. We come now to the final group. Right, there we are. Thank you, ladies. Asia and Oceania. And our first contestant is from Japan. Kiana Tomita. And Kiana has completed a degree in Asian and Middle Eastern Studies, currently working on her PhD in survivability studies. Here we are. So we're going to lower that. Ready for action. And I shall reveal your question. Japan. How has working on your Beauty with a Purpose project changed the way you see your role as a woman in your community and in the world?
Thank you very much for your question. Hello, my name is Kiana Tomita. I'm Miss World Japan. So before my Beauty with a Purpose, I often asked myself, how can one voice make change in a world filled with suffering? But after that, now I know. Purpose turns a whisper into a movement. My Beauty with a Purpose started with the disaster preparedness education and recovery support. Working with communities and schools, I saw the quiet strength of people, especially women, who lead not from titles but from compassion. Through supporting recovery efforts in cities devastated by 2011 and 2024 earthquakes, I realized that true leadership means standing with others in the darkest moments. As a woman, my role has evolved from simply participating in one society to actively shaping it. So I'm no longer just someone who tells stories as a journalist, but I am a story of resilience, and I carry the voices of women, children, and the vulnerable people wherever I go. In many cultures, women are expected to be soft, but what I've learned is that there is immense strength in softness, the strength to heal, to unite, and to build. Today, I see my purpose not as a temporary project, but as a lifelong commitment. Beauty is not perfection. It is the purpose. And the purpose has made me stronger, bolder, and more connected with the world. So when people ask me, what comes after beauty with a purpose? I smile and say, well, it doesn't end. Because the role I've discovered as a woman in this world is one I will carry until the very end of my life. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Japan. Our next contestant is from Lebanon. This is Nada Kusa, who's currently a clinical psychologist, and Nada's proudest moment was presenting her thesis on learning helplessness for her master's degree. And to Lebanon, I now ask, how has working on your Beauty with a Purpose project changed the way you see your role as a woman in your community and in the world?
Hello, everyone. When I began working on my Beauty with a project, with a Purpose project, I thought I was building something for others. But along the way, I noticed that I was building too. Working on mental health in Lebanon taught me that change doesn't always look loud. Sometimes it starts small and it starts in simple conversations. It starts with a question like, how are you doing? And this made me actually do the work. I sat with children, I sat with volunteers, I sat with mothers everywhere in Lebanon, in different parts, and each and every one of them was struggling in a way or another. And through this, I stopped seeing myself as someone who gives, who gives back, actually. I started seeing myself as someone who stands, who listens, who helps, who just gives their hand out to help the other person who is struggling. And my community began to grow larger. My community became so wide that it even became bigger than my own country because mental health didn't recognize any borders. We all struggle from mental health. We all know the importance of mental health, and it does not have to be limitless, and neither should compassion. Today, I don't just represent my country. Today, I represent every person suffering in silence, alone, and struggling by themselves. I represent every person that wants a change and that needs help and is asking for help and is not asking for help but wanting it from deep down. And I know for sure you don't need to change the world, but with every step you take and every move you do to, to make a single little change, I think you are making a change. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you very much, Lebanon. For a minute there, I thought you were quoting Sting. Well, our next contestant is from Sri Lanka, Anudi Gunasekara. Now, Anudi is a student in international relations, wanting to pursue a career in international relations. Since becoming Miss Sri Lanka, Anudi's led numerous BWAP projects, reaching nearly 10,000 women and girls, and therefore this question has a lot of relevance. How has working on your Beauty with a Purpose project changed the way you see your role as a woman in your community and in the world?
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Aibowan, namaskaram. First of all, I have to be thankful and grateful for this opportunity to be standing here today because every year I've been watching Head to Head Challenge every year. Now I'm standing here as a finalist. So I'm very grateful. Thank you again. Well, I'll tell you a story first. When I was about 12 years old, I went to a competition from my school to represent my school. And I was with another girl from another school, and she was on her period. And then she wanted to go to the washroom to change her napkin. And then I asked, okay, why don't you go and do it before the competition starts? She said, I only have one. I'm not, uh, I don't have many, so I can't use it. I don't want to waste it. At that time, I was like, why does this happen? What does she mean? Because I never had that problem growing up. And then I did my research in the university on the criminalization of marital rape in Sri Lanka because it is not criminalized yet, like in many other countries, and that's a problem. I wanted to investigate the connection between the level of awareness women have about their women's rights and the process of criminalization because I believe in order to speak up against this violence, you have to have a knowledge about your rights. Other than that, you don't have any sort of opportunity to talk about it. And then only I found about period poverty. I realized besides violence, they are also going through period poverty. They are not just victims of menstrual poverty, they are also victims of violence, both at the same time. So I started my project after that. And then I realized I started this project to give back, but I'm also receiving something back. This is just purpose giving back and forth. And I have helped over 10,000 women and girls. And I help them through donations, by providing sanitary products, not just biodegradable pads, non-biodegradable pads, it's also reusable napkins so that they have a sustainable solution. And second, the awareness, because I believe awareness is key. You can give a napkin, but you can only use it once. But awareness will pass through generations. So when we do awareness programs, we try to target the audience that we are talking to. As an example, for young children, we are talking about how menstruation happens, what happens inside your body, and what you should be doing when it happens. And for older women, we talk about menopause, we talk about contraception, we talk about sexual health. Because I believe when it comes to awareness, it has to be suitable with the audience as well. And then the third thing is policy recommendation.
Time.
In Sri Lanka, the rate on sanitary napkin is 51%, and we had to reduce it. So I met the Prime Minister of my country to talk about it. At the end of the day, I realized by trying to give them something, I also received a sense of purpose. And I no longer believe that
Time.
women should be limited to things like this. They should have a voice to talk about these things and bleed with dignity. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Sri Lanka. Now our next contestant is Thailand. Opal Suchata Changshri. And Opal's a student of international relations, wanting one day to be an ambassador. And she's also has an interest in psychology and anthropology. And here she is to speak now on how has working on your Beauty with a Purpose project changed the way you see your role as a woman in your community and in the world.
Thank you, Steve. Swadika, good morning, everyone. Esteemed judges, my sisters, hello again. Thank you so much for the honor to be standing here again today. I believe that all of us here in our rooms growing up, we dream to be a lot of things in in this world. Me, as a girl, I dreamed to be a big part of this world, a world changer, or maybe a big superstar where everyone knows me and that I could give some happiness in their life. And then, as I said on my first head-to-head challenge, that I went through a breast tumor removal surgery when I was 16. And that is when I started dedicating my life to breast cancer. My Beauty with a Purpose project is called Opal for Her, and we aim to create a future where there is no fears, no barriers, nothing in between women and their dreams. I have worked alongside with patients, survivors, medical personnel, or even the government or the Ministry of Public Health. And that is I could say it's the biggest part of my life. It's one of the things I'm most proud of. And how it changed the way I see myself. I still see myself as a human being that wanted to be the light in this world, wanted to give back to anyone that I can in my life. But more than that, I've realized from my project that sometimes we we are not a game changer. We are not the big thing in this world because what's more important than being the big thing in this world is being the small thing that adds up to the big part of this world. And that is how my Beauty with a Purpose project changed the way I see myself as a woman in this society. I changed from seeing myself as a game changer to a particle, a gear, a puzzle that would add up to my own life, the life of every woman in this world, and just this world as a whole. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Thailand. Now we come to the final qualifier from this group. This is Turkey, İdil Bilgen. And İdil is fulfilling a lifelong dream of being a medical doctor and will be embarking on her medical residency training in the United States, specializing in radiation oncology. So, for you, for the final time, the question is, how has working on your Beauty with a Purpose project changed the way you see your role as a woman in your community and in the world?
Thank you for the question. Welcome, everyone. It is such a privilege to be here today and speaking before you regarding this question, actually. So, all my life, I wanted to become a doctor, especially in the field of oncology. And recently, I started to pursue my career in radiation oncology, doing all my research in that field, especially regarding breast cancer. For me, this was very important to advocate for breast cancer prevention, screening, and early detection in my community, internationally and nationally as well, in honor of my mother. She was a breast cancer patient for 16 years. She was very strong and brave, and unfortunately, she passed away due to this condition. But I, after her demise, I realized that more people need to be aware of this cancer, of this condition, and we need to advocate for it. So people that could do this best are the ones who have experienced it, who have felt the fear, uncertainty, and stress of a cancer diagnosis in the family and the treatment phase, which we did for 16 years. So in my community, in both Turkey, throughout my research, I actually conducted academic research on prevention, especially during the pandemic, where we held where we wrote publications on the importance of early detection and for women to continue going to their screenings, mammogram screenings, to continue treatment despite the burden of the COVID-19 pandemic. That was one of my work, actually, that I did with Princess Margaret Cancer Center in Toronto. And with my Beauty with a Purpose project recently, I've been doing this work in Ukraine, holding seminars and symposiums to teach women about the importance of mammogram screenings according to guidelines, for them to not be scared to actually go to that hospital, to enter that clinic for their screening. Because some women choose to avoid it, but it should not be avoided, because if detected early, that cancer, that condition is treatable and sometimes curable. So in this way, you not only save yourself as a woman, but also you protect your family. This way, your children, your family, your husband, your family does not fall apart. You stay together as a whole. And no children should have to separate from their mothers due to a condition that could be prevented, that could be treated if detected early in time. And with my Purpose project, I've been trying to advocate for this in Turkey through remote collaborations with the Turkish Cancer Society, and in Ukraine with the Ukrainian Diplomatic Spouse Association and the Ukrainian Foreign Minister's wife. Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you there, Turkey. And just while we find out from the judges, I just want to give a thank you to our supporters and sponsors this evening, or this afternoon, or even this morning. I'm losing track of time here. First of all, the government of Telangana, their support has been incredible, and we obviously would like to say thank you to them for all that support and for making dreams come true here in Telangana. Hightex, which is the host of the 72nd Miss World Final, will be moving there in the coming week as we build up towards the 72nd Miss World Final, which is on the 31st of May. And then I'd also like to mention our home, away from home, Trident Hotel here in Hyderabad, and our associate sponsor, Aura Reality, so Aura Realty, and AdSplash and Social Aviator, who are operating on the marketing and sponsorship of the events, and also to broadcast partners, including Doordarshan and Waves. So we'd like to thank them all. And with that, I'm going to ask the contestants to step forward to the front of the stage as we reveal who's gone through to the final. There we are. There we go. So our final two qualifiers come from Asia and Oceania. And going through from this group, we have Turkey. Congratulations, Turkey. And joining her, Thailand. So the two T's. T for two, moving forward. Thank you to Sri Lanka, Lebanon, and Japan as well as they join the audience. But there we have it. So it's getting exciting. So if we want to have a look along that line, we have our qualifiers from the Americas and Caribbean. We have Brazil and Trinidad and Tobago. There we are. From Africa, we have Namibia and Zambia. From Europe, we have Ireland and Wales. And from Asia and Oceania, we have Thailand and Turkey. Okay. Now I'm going to ask if we can get a camera in position because we've got to see who's going to make the choices, because in a moment we're going to go into the final part of the challenge. But I'd like to introduce you to the people who have to make that decision. So if we are looking at the far end first, if he gives us a little wave at the far end, there we go. That's as far away from me. He can't hear very well from there. There we go. So we know him as an actor, model, entrepreneur, but he's also in charge of all the social media team, doing an incredible job out here in Telangana. He's our very own Enrique Fontes. Next, the lady who is responsible for us all being here, because none of this would have ever happened. None of us would ever be sitting here if it wasn't for this one person. She is, of course, the founder of Beauty with a Purpose, the chairman and CEO of the Miss World organization, Julia Morley, CBE. And we've been today praising the police and security services, and to have one of their chiefs with us this afternoon is a great honor, and we'd like to pay special thanks to you, Sai Shri Batima. And next to you is our own head of security, because she looks after the crown, or she does for another week. She's the keeper of the crown and the reigning Miss World, Kristina Pishkova. And our associate sponsor is represented by this young lady. And she, of course, is Aruna Param. And finally, a man who knows what it's like to take on this challenge, because he took this challenge on a few months ago in Mr. World. And he actually did very well and became Mr. World Asia. This is Pham Tuan Nak, but we call him Tony. There we are. Say hello to Tony. So there you have it, our judges. And now, having met the judges, you have to make this final decision, because this is where head-to-head challenge gets its name from. Because now we will ask the two contestants to step forward from Americas and Caribbean. So please, can we have you step forward? Brazil and Trinidad and Tobago. All right. Either side of the podium. Either side. There we are. So we're going to start with Brazil. And you will both answer the same question. Brazil. Climate and responsibility is your subject. In a world facing urgent climate challenges, how can young people take meaningful action to protect our planet?
This topic might seem simple to understand, but it's quite difficult because we still have this problem going on. And as a teacher, I can see that it's very difficult to create and promote actions to have a truly result in climate change. And that's why I created a project to not only share this topic, but to bring everybody together to create solutions, but real solutions. The solutions that we can do at home, we can share with our families, with our communities, with our countries to achieve a point, to achieve a result. And it's serious. We need to think about that because every country here is facing a problem about sustainability, climate change, storms, a lot of things is going on, and we need to talk about this. And as a teacher, I'm doing this inside classrooms, but we all should do this in our houses, with our friends, with our family, so we can truly be part of the solution, not only to talk about it, but to truly be part of the solution. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you there. Thank you, Brazil. Now we're going to swap to Trinidad and Tobago.
Good morning again, everyone. So I come from the land of sunshine, of forest, of trees, and I'm lucky to have grown up surrounded by that. And because of that, I grew to love being in nature. It's my safe space. It's where I find happiness. It's where I center myself. And when you love something, you want to protect it. And that's why my beauty with a purpose, the ripple effect, we so strongly advocate for our environment and also expose others to nature, bring them back to where we once came from. Because I think this modern world, it has sort of estranged us from nature, from the natural environment. And I'm really proud to say that one of my initiatives, the Hike and Plant Initiative, I joined forces with volunteers of many ages, some as young as 3 years old, and we went on a beautiful hike in the forest to help replant an area that was damaged by wildfires. And part of what I wanted to do was help people to reconnect with our environment because I think that we really have forgotten how important it is and how much we need it to sustain us. And also, it's actually medically proven that being in nature helps us to distress. It lowers our stress hormone levels. And planting the day, everyone felt rejuvenated. They felt happy. The kids wanted to stay longer and they kept smiling and laughing and wanting to grab more trees to come back again. And it might seem like hard work, but one small action, one ripple, when combined, can leave a lasting change. Because those trees, even though it was one day of planting, they will grow and they will have an impact for generations to come, leaving clean air, helping more animals and plants to come back again so that our world can continue to sustain and nourish us. Thank you.
Right. Well, thank you, ladies. Would you come forward to the front, please? Dave, can you just give them a microphone? And just while we're getting the results, we want you to tell us, because you're obviously the two that have got to the final, tell us a little bit about the characters in your Americas and Caribbean group. Who should we look out for?
You know, it's been such an amazing experience here with all these amazing girls. And I'm telling everybody that I'm going to hide myself somewhere and no one can find me. So I'm not going to come back to Brazil. I'm going to pretend that I lose my flight because it's been such an amazing opportunity. I really don't feel the sense of competition here. I feel that we are so united. Even we are so different, but we are so united. And all of us, all the groups, all continents, and I'm going to keep this forever and forever in my life. Thank you.
Hello again, everyone. So I think the Americas and Caribbean is a special region. I'm definitely not biased, but we come from many different countries, many different cultures. We speak different languages. And my own roommate, Martinique, when we first met, we were a little unsure how we would communicate because she speaks French and I speak English. But we learned that communication is not always about words. It's shared smiles, it's a little touch and a hug and a wink. And even though all of the girls sometimes it's difficult for us to communicate together, we all find that we share those little soft looks together. And I really do feel that our region is one big family. And I'm very thankful to Miss World for giving us that feeling and that unity. Thank you.
Okay. Wonderful. Okay. Well, ladies, I got to tell you that it actually went to a tie break, which is why it took a bit longer. The judges had actually marked equally for you. So now, after the tie break, we reveal that the winner of and becomes our champion for they're looking after each other there for Americas and Caribbean in the head-to-head challenge. That winner is Trinidad and Tobago. Oh, congratulations. Now this of course means that Trinidad and Tobago in her continent will now move forward into the top 10 in her continent. Congratulations. Okay, and a big round of applause for Brazil as well. Brazil, you need to come and join the rest of us in the audience. And can I ask you to take your seat at the top table? Thank you. Now we move to Africa, and let's bring forward Namibia and Zambia. Okay. Now, your question is going to be on digital age and mental health. Okay, and here it is. With social media influencing so many aspects of life, how can we ensure it promotes self-worth and mental well-being, especially amongst the youth? Okay, and we will begin with Namibia.
Thank you for the question.
Do you want to just raise the thing so you'll be heard? That's it.
Thank you so much for the question. You know, as I've been a mental health advocate for the past 7 years, I understand the importance of taking care of your mental and emotional state. 740,000 people globally die every year to suicide. This is an alarming statistic that should be treated as a pandemic. I believe in the ethos of vulnerable leadership, which constitutes that yes, although we are public figures and we present ourselves well, it's not always like that, and that's okay. I believe that a leader is only as impactful as the lives that they're able to positively influence. I would educate young women on the importance, once again, of identity. There's a saying that says, if you come to the world and you don't know who you are, the world will tell you. And that's why it's so incredibly important to cultivate the light on the inside of you so that no matter what anybody else says of you, to you, about you, it doesn't move you because you know who you are. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Namibia. And to you, Zambia, the same question. With social media influencing so many aspects of life, how can we ensure it promotes self-worth and mental well-being, especially among the youth?
Thank you so much for that question. One thing I know in this time and era is social media is powerful. Social media can break you or build you. But the one thing we need to realize as human beings, as girls, as boys, as the world, is we need to be authentic. The world will always change and evolve, but the one thing that cannot change and evolve is who you are. We need an authenticity that will stand in times and generations and cultures and races. You need to be bold with who you are. and let the world embrace that. So, with the power of social media, we need to teach the women, the men, that there is power in being who you are, and you need to stay true to yourself no matter what, because society will evolve, but you cannot evolve 1,000 times. So stay true to yourself, because that's where your power lies. Thank you.
Okay, two very good answers. Oh my words! If you come forward, Dave's going to give you the microphone. Now, if come forward, ladies. You see, we want a few names. We'd like to know who misbehaves in the African group. They're there in front of you. Come on. I'm sure we'll find out now. Come on.
Nigeria.
I think I heard Nigeria.
I think I love my African sisters because we are all very similar. We all love to sing, we all love to dance, we all love to love and laugh. So if there's one person that misbehaves, it's everybody because we are all very similar. Thank you.
Okay. So it's the bad girls of Africa, is it? Here we go. Okay, let's ask Namibia. Come on, maybe you can give more information.
I must say that my most favorite times, one of my most favorite experiences at Miss World is definitely when we get onto the bus. We have a few, I would say, the choir leaders, and that constitutes of Miss Nigeria, Miss Angola, Miss Cameroon, who came second at the talent competition last night. They're all incredible singers, and they're definitely the life of the party. So I wouldn't say trouble starters. I would just say they shine their light extra bright.
Okay. Well done. Would you maybe not trouble starters? What about fire starters? Maybe, maybe. Anyway, Africa, thank you. You've been very well represented by these brilliant young women. But one of them is going to now take that title, move forward into the top 10 in her continent. And who will that be? The judges have made their decision. Qualifying, and our champion for Africa, Zambia. Congratulations, Zambia. Brilliant work, Namibia. Now, I'm going to ask Namibia and Brazil if you would escort each other and join the rest of the group on the floor. So that's it. There we go, and give them a big round of applause. So there we are, two qualifiers. So Trinidad and Tobago and Zambia. But now it's the turn of Europe. And we ask Ireland and Wales to come forward. Wow, here we go. And we're going to ask a question on education and empowerment. What role does education play in empowering young women? And how have your own educational experiences shaped you and who you are today? And we will begin with Ireland.
Hello, everyone, and thank you so much for your question. As someone who was the first person in my family to ever attend university and obtain a degree and a master's, education really was a pivotal moment in my life. I work with education mostly in Africa and in Ireland and in places all over the world where I've seen multiple people change their lives with it. As Nelson Mandela once said, education is the most powerful weapon you can use in this world. When I was in South Africa in November, I was building schools and literacy hubs, and something that really changed my life was the integration of how people from the townships were taken into the schools, taught to teach the children in the schools in the literacy hubs how to read and write. 80% of children in the environment couldn't read and write. Now 80% of those children who attend those literacy hubs can read and write. That is the power of education. Education is a tool that can be used throughout the whole world to create massive change, and it has done for me. My Beauty with a Purpose, Dream in a Box, is a little literacy kit that has my own book that I wrote, Sunny and the Safe Harbour, all about finding your safe place in life, and where you should feel safe as a child. It has affirmations, self love, and lots of stories. But most importantly, it has the ability to dream. There's worksheets inside it that enable you to write your own story and lay out your destiny. Because for me personally, something that really stood to me was when you put things on paper, magical things really do happen. Education is who I am, and it will be what I champion for the rest of my life. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Ireland. And not too far from the Emerald Isle is our next contestant's country. And of course, it's Wales.
I'm an academic, of course, but my biggest lessons have been learned out in the community or across the world. My Beauty with a Purpose project is about educating and empowering young people with the tools and knowledge to react and counteract knife crime. They didn't get the opportunity to go to medical school. They didn't have it as easy as I did. And my journey wasn't easy either. I'm also the first to go to university in my family. But education in a school institute isn't for everyone. Sometimes you need hands-on education in the community, which is why I founded Exeter Street Doctors, to give them that chance to protect themselves and know what to do when they find themselves in that situation of violence. When I traveled to Uganda, I hosted an empowerment session. I thought I was empowering those women, but they were empowering and educating me. The life stories they shared with me will stay with me more than anything I've learnt in medical school. And when I came to India, I met with acid attack survivors. They endured the cruelest act, but they taught me that you can still smile at the world even if it's treating you badly. So education can look like different things to different people, but it's a tool and it's a powerful one for everyone. And I hope that the education I offer in Wales and England, but also the countries I've visited, will make a difference in their lives. Thank you.
Wow. I've got to be honest, I don't think I'd like to be a judge on this particular one. Two fantastic presentations. So I'm going to ask you to come forward this and maybe, since that was very serious and heartfelt, a little lighter moment. Is there any lighter moment, something that's happened in your group that maybe you shouldn't tell us about, but today you will? Can you, your lips are no longer sealed, one of those?
Wales, do you want to go first?
Sure. We're known for not waking up when we're supposed to, aren't we, Irene? So we'll get a call on the phone and then Irene will knock at our door. So maybe that's all of us. That's not one individual. But the Europe bus is always filled with laughs and dances. And you're the most incredible women I've ever met. And everyone in this room uplifts me in some way. So thank you for being here and giving your friendship to us.
And Ireland, you're not going to escape. You want to dish the dirt here. Come on.
As Millie said, there's not, Europe has been just absolutely amazing. And I'm so proud of us all, especially Estonia with Sports Day. We're all cheering for her. And, we all want each other to win. And that's so important. I know it is competition, but it's also just a sea of friendship and love. So, Europe, you are the best.
Oh, it's wonderful. And I know from one of the things you just said there, and I'm sure the ladies all agree, you have a fantastic support team. And you mentioned one lady who's happened to, I think, to have been with us longer than anyone else. And in fact, we should really be carrying her to bed in the evening, but she's still going strong. She is, of course, Irene. Where is Irene there as well? There she is with her group. And have you got any stories about Irene?
Irene has been our biggest supporter throughout this whole journey. She's been like a mom to all of us. And as Millie says, she does knock on our door and give us wake up calls every morning. But without her, we probably wouldn't be on time. So, Irene, you are the best. Thank you so much.
Well done to Irene and all the team of support staff. Thank you. Well, we have a result. And as you can imagine, it was not only a tie, even the second vote was a tie. And it's taken a third vote to determine that going forward from this group and into the top 10 in Europe is Wales. Wow. Well done. Congratulations. And congratulations, Ireland. That was a superb presentation. Let's hear it for Ireland as well. Wow. There's all those empty chairs and only 2 of them filled now. So let's bring them forward. Asia and Oceania, Thailand and Turkey. Right. Hold on one moment. Just going to give you a very special question. Right, your subject is going to be cultural identity in a globalized world. Okay. So, Thailand, in an increasingly globalized world, how can we preserve our cultural heritage whilst embracing unity and diversity?
Thank you, Steve. As Steve has mentioned earlier, I dream to be an ambassador of Thailand, studying international relations. And I am doing everything that all of us here are doing, which is representing our country in an international stage. And I think that in this fast moving, in this globalizing world, sometimes the situation forced us to try to be modern, try to blend in, try to be international, or try to be the citizen of the globe, which partly we are doing it, but at the same time, sometimes we lost or we throw away parts of ourselves that is deeply rooted within us. And I think that it is very important to implement the mindset of being grateful of who you are and where you're from. Because I've always believed that standing here saying that I'm from Thailand, it's not just about the way I write Thailand on my nationality in my registration form or taking out my passport, which has the word Thailand on it. It's about the landscape, the beautiful places of my country, of my people. It's about the taste I remember in my childhood or the sounds I remember of my grandparents and everything of Thailand that is deeply rooted within me that I am grateful for and will do forever what it takes to keep it within me. And I think that it is also very important for us to know that in the end, when we're standing here today, it's not about throwing away parts of you in order to fit in with the world. It's all about taking parts within you and creating a world together, all of us with diversity and unity, and always move forward together in unity with empathy, with open hearts, so we can create a beautiful world together. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Thailand. And our final speaker here, Turkey. What, in an increasingly globalized world, how can we preserve our cultural heritage while embracing unity and diversity?
Thank you very much for the question. I think it's very important because at this time of the world where there's so much conflict going on, cultural heritage and the respect for international differences is very important and valuable. So, to preserve cultural heritage among this increasing globalization, consulates and embassies have a major role of holding and hosting events that embrace countries' deep rooted traditions, histories, cultures, music, arts, and cuisine. By holding such events, they actually unite different citizens of the world together to learn and acknowledge our differences as well as our similarities. Because unity is strengthened and celebrated with diversity, not as a barrier, but as a form for us to actually encourage our diversity together. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. And once again, ladies, if you could step forward while the judges make that decision. Um, Again, while we've been here at this hotel, we've developed a very strong bond with all the staff here. And is there any outstanding moment for you for your time here at this hotel, at the brilliant Trident Hotel?
I have a lot of moments that I really appreciate and will forever keep in my heart in the playlist of Trident. First, I would say every day when I start my breakfast, I go down and then I would go to all the staff in the dining hall. And the moment I walk up to them, I haven't said a word. And they would say, hot cappuccino with almond milk. They remember my coffee. And then I walk to the other staff and they say, egg royale with extra smoked salmon. And then after breakfast, I come back to my room